To go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, well, let's do it. Hey, welcome to Wholehearted Living
With Valerie
and Bennie. Woohoo! I just saw Wicked.
Oh my gosh, wasn't that good?
It was good.
Oh,
Iggy,
Hello.
before we forget.
Hi.
hi,
Hi.
Iggy. Did you like Wicked? Yeah.
I've only ever seen it once, so I don't remember much of it. So it was like watching it again for the first time.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
so good to see everything up close and personal. Like just, I mean, obviously if you're on stage and you're, depending on where your seats are,
Yeah.
you don't see every single facial expression.
Oh, right. Oh, I see
Tear
what you're
and
saying.
whatever. You
I was
know.
like, golly, where'd you sit? But I get it.
No, just, yeah.
Yeah,
it just was
no.
kinda
Because
cool.
we saw, you know what's funny is when we were in Ecuador, we were telling this woman, single woman who's a pharmacist, had lots of money, and we told her that we were going to New York as part of Ashley's like high school graduation thing, and she said, well, you got to go see a Broadway show. And we were like, well, we want to, but I don't know if that's in the cards. And she goes, I'm paying for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she
Wow.
and
Wait, who was she to you?
she was a friend, and I guess she's one of those friends that if we called her, we'd probably be friends. But it was like she basically visited us at times. She was from one of the churches that supported us and
I
stuff, and
see.
so. And she came several times, right, Patty? I mean, she came several times. But
That
anyway,
is
and she
so cool.
she a couple times stayed at our house. Actually, just stayed at our house with us. And anyway, yeah. So she goes, oh, just tell me, you have to go see a
Yeah.
Broadway play. And I don't remember how it worked out, or if she just guesstimated how much it was and told us. I really don't know. But all I know is that we ended up seeing Wicked on Broadway. But like I was telling you, it's the movie's two parts, and I saw the first one, which was, I was completely blown away, and I knew somebody had told me that there was two parts.
Yeah.
But it was long ago. It was so long ago. I don't remember the second part.
Oh.
So I mean, I
Yeah.
don't understand what's going to happen.
Oh.
Does anybody die?
I'm not going to tell you what happens.
I want to know if the blonde girl becomes nice, or she stay a weenie.
Glenda?
Okay. Ariana Grande, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she stay a butthead?
Oh, you didn't think she was nice?
Well, she's not nice to Green Girl.
No.
I mean, she's fake nice.
No, I think she felt for her. Didn't you cry when they had their little pantomime dance
Oh, I
thing?
cried a lot.
Yeah.
But it kind of felt like Ariana wants to get ahead. And that's the reason why she was friends with
Well,
Green
I mean,
Girl.
I think that was her personality. I definitely like us, it's all about me kind of thing.
Yeah, oh God,
But
yeah.
I feel like that broke part of that personality trait because she started feeling for her. And,
She doesn't want to tell me what the second part is, huh?
no, I'm not going to. Well, and other people may not want to know either.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of listeners,
I know. That's very sad because everybody's right now, they're thinking like me. Well, just tell us. And they don't have to waste $15 on the movie. Just kidding.
15. Gosh, where do you go? I want to only pay 15.
Wasn't our movie $15 each? 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's still not
And
too
I
bad.
just barely get a senior discount.
What's a senior discount?
You have to be 60.
Oh.
And I think it's only a couple bucks, but still I went to buy our tickets and I was like, oh, I still have to wait a few months.
I thought that 55 was
I did
seniors.
too. I was really thinking I was going to get a discount.
Golly. Well, I can tell you, I really liked it. I was totally shocked by Ariana Grande. I didn't know she could act. So I was actually, I told you this beforehand, but I literally said to Patty, is that who I think it is? Because I was like, it can't be Ariana Grande because
Yeah.
she's like way too good of an actress.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that was one of our, I saw it with Kylie the first time I saw it. And we walked in there thinking, I hope we can forget that it's her. I hope that we just get into the whole role and it's Glenda.
Yeah.
But I think within a few minutes, I totally forgot it was her.
Oh,
like
yeah.
she just,
Well, I didn't know it was her at first, and then I was like listening to her and hearing her, and I thought, that's Ariana Grande, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't care. We went there with different like mindsets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go inside there just like, whatever, I'm going with the fam.
yeah.
And actually I wanted to see it, but it wasn't like, you know, this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so,
But it kind of is.
but no, I still would take sliced bread. But
I loved it. I loved it so much.
it was, no, I
Yeah.
actually really did enjoy it. It was really fun. It was well done. The whole thing was well done. I didn't remember that the wizard dude gets called out so quickly. Is that true in the
Yeah.
play too?
Yeah. It's a musical.
Oh yeah, the musical. Whatever. I always get in trouble about doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you say, Mumbles?
It takes a while in the movie The Wizard of Oz. But then
Oh yeah, in the movie you don't know about him until the end.
In Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah, it's at the very end when
Yeah.
you realize that he's a dope.
Yeah.
But when you're in the beginning, you're kind of like, yeah, you're trying to. I mean, in this one, it's like, oh, they already gave it away.
Yeah.
I thought, is it over?
They gave it away.
But yeah, it was cool the way it was a little bit Harry Potter-esque though when she started to fly. So that was a little thing where they kind of stole. You haven't seen Harry Potter, have
No.
you? Oh,
No.
well, you haven't lived. But Harry Potter was where they he does the same kind of a thing with the broom, a very similar type thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He didn't sing though.
Imagine.
Yeah, that would have been another musical.
And you didn't
Harry
even know
Potter.
who the people were. You didn't even get that there was a cameo.
The OGs.
Yeah.
No.
The OGs.
A cameo. Yeah, no. I recognize. I know who.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, I know
Uh-huh.
who she is, and I didn't have any idea who the other woman was. And Trinity was sitting next to me, and she's freaking out. Oh my god! There they are! And I thought, yep, there they are. Actors. They tend to come out in movies. and then she just kept going on and on and on. Oh my god! I can't
So
believe it, I
there's
can't
this
believe it.
video that started floating around, and I think Kylie had shared it a few years ago, and I just recently saw it after I saw Wicked, because now all of a sudden my feed is showing me all this Wicked stuff, and it was a video which I don't know if Trinity's seen it, but I'll find it and send it to her. But it starts out with Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel singing the beginning song, part of the song, and then all of the cast that played Glinda and Elphaba
Oh my
come
gosh.
out and sing it.
We've seen it.
You have seen
Yeah.
it? Isn't it amazing?
Oh, that's really
And they're all
cool.
out there on stage singing. I don't know if it was for an award show or what, but
And they were also like, all the Glindas were in pink, all the
all
Elphabas
the
were in
yeah,
green.
it was so cool.
that's
so
fun.
cool. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun. I remember on this onstage thing that the Green Girl, when we saw it, she was amazing. To be able to sing well, and this one was too, obviously. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you know what? The interesting thing is, I know so many people talk about her about Ariana Grande and getting an award and what have you, but I really feel like Elphaba just knocked it out of the park. I know that's such an old little
Wait.
saying,
So awards have already been given for a movie that I just saw.
no, up for awards, up for a.
She's not up. The
I
Green
don't
Girl's
know.
not up for it?
I don't know the Green Girl Alphabet.
Alpha.
I just feel like she did such a great job. Like, I hope that it isn't because they both, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know why. I mean, I think they both did a great job too. So in terms of who did better, I'm not sure you could qualify that. I will say
they're two different characters. It's hard to say which one was better, but they both played them so great.
they played him really, really
Yeah.
well. And the thing that I think what's interesting for me about Ariana Grande is it's like when you see somebody in a position that you didn't think that they could be in, that's what makes her even more impressive to me, because the other girl I only know as an
from this,
as an
yeah,
actress
yeah,
and whatever, and so it's
yeah.
like, okay, you did a good job,
That's true.
but it's not. Yeah, I mean, I've seen little clips of Ariana Grande. There's this clip of her on Jimmy Fallon, I'm pretty sure, where she sings like other
Oh my
famous
God.
people. It's
She
so
does-
funny.
She's so good.
And to be able to do it on a heartbeat, where it's like they just pop up and then she just starts
she
singing.
just starts singing
And,
it. I'm like, I've heard
yeah.
her do like Celine Dion. I've heard her do
Britney Spears.
yeah,
she's done
Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera. Yeah,
she's
exactly. It's really, really
awesome.
funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Green Girl, I was gonna bring this up.
Agaba, boo, boo.
Agaba?
Agaba, boo, boo, boo. Oh wait, that's Aladdin. Okay,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
bring this up. So I'm considering letting my hair go gray.
Sweet. I love it. All right. Well, that was a good conversation. Let's move on.
It has nothing to do with green, but it has to do with color. So
Yeah.
that's how I brought it up. No, I've been contemplating for like probably a year now, but I'm like, how do I do it? Because I have black hair. So I'm not going to go spend $5,000 to have somebody color my whole head of hair.
I'll do it.
And then what if I walk out of there after 16 hours and go, oh my gosh, I do not like the way I look gray.
My wife has gray hair.
No, I know, but I'm saying like she's a lighter complected person. Did she have black hair? No, she didn't have black hair. So I feel like it's going to be just a shock. So I figure I'm going to just let it go, but not really, because I'm just, but I mean, what I mean is I'm going to pencil it in for as long as I can, like the root. Obviously underneath I won't.
Did you say underneath?
Underneath.
Okay.
And then
you said underneath.
Maybe I did.
She did.
Underneath. It's my accent.
Oh, you know, that Southern California accent.
No. And then wear hats for a while. And then
Why are you so freaking out?
I just don't like the first part of the growth.
How do you not know that you're going to like it?
I don't know. That's my point.
So then why are you already planning what you're going to do to get rid of it? Why don't you just say, I'm going to let it grow out and then see what happens?
Because I don't want just this little tiny thin spike of skunk line. I'm going to pencil it in so it's not as...
What does that mean, pencil it in?
No, you can buy like little brushes to tap on the root. Okay. And then, so you don't see the root for a while. And I can't do that forever because once it starts like, you know, an inch or two out, that's going to be a lot of penciling. Because it washes out. You just do it.
Okay.
And then you
that's why I'm confused because you're saying I'm going to basically I thought you were saying I'm going to dye it over and over and over again. I'm thinking, well, aren't you?
It's a thing that washes out. Like the second you wash your hair, it's done.
See.
But
you know that your hair grows really long. That's
wait,
not what I meant to say. That
I was
dumb.
like, wait, what?
Did you know that your hair grows fast?
My hair grows really fast.
Right.
I know that because I have to dye this.
So what I'm saying is that it's probably not going to be very long.
But you know what's so funny that you
changes.
said that? Because I went on this group that's called
Gray hair people that diet.
Gray hair, it's growing gray gracefully or something like that.
Oh my
and
gosh.
So anyway, one woman said my hair grew so fast. I was dyeing it every 3 weeks, my roots every 3 weeks. And then of course, when I decide to let it grow, all of a sudden it's not growing very fast. I'm sure it's growing the same, but
Right.
you want it to just be,
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what's funny though? You're 60 years old. 1 year is going to go by in like 10 minutes. Isn't that sad?
So here's the thing. The reason I brought it up.
Oh, I thought we already had the reason.
No. Well, Nicole has been sending me for like the last week pictures of women that are letting their hair grow out. And it actually looks really cool when it gets to maybe around the ear and then the bottom part is dark. It's like a really cool look. It's like kind of fun, almost like, oh, maybe I'll always just dye the bottom dark. Anyway, but so she's all for it. So then I tell Kylie today, I go, I don't know. I'm thinking about letting my gray grow in. She goes, I know. I saw that on your stories. I don't think you should. And then I'm like, why? Do you think I'll look ugly? No, I don't think you look ugly. I just don't think you keep saying, well, my black hair doesn't match up to the age of my face or my hands. She goes, you don't look as old as you think you look. And
No,
I'm like,
you don't. 50-ish.
but I'm not, but I mean, at the same point, I'm not 25. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
it's got to happen sometime. And here's my fear. What if something happens and I'm incapable of doing my own hair and then I have to let the grow out without me being able to do it a special way? So I'm going to just do it right now before.
Well, there's 10 minutes of my life I
I
don't
know.
get back. So,
This just reminds me of she can't leave the house without fixing the pillows perfectly.
yes, exactly.
Iggy knows me well.
I think it's going to be good that you. What I like about it is one thing that I just think is good. I don't know about the 50 and all that stuff because. Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is if you like it black, then keep it. I think the thing that starts to happen besides what you just said about looks, is it matching my face? Am I faking it? All that kind of stuff. I think to me, the bigger issue is this really the way I want to live my life, the rest of my life, continuing to pretend like I'm something I'm not? Black hair. Like in other words, there's gonna be a day that you're just gonna decide I'm not gonna keep doing it just because I'm not gonna keep doing
exactly.
it. And so it's like, why not?
Why do I? And then I really thought this was the time that I made that decision and say, I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm okay to be gray.
Yeah,
I really am.
And you're still gonna be pretty. You're gonna look older. Sorry, probably, but you're not gonna. But you're not gonna. No one's gonna go, oh my God, what happened to her?
Yeah.
If anything, you'll make it look trendy because you're not going to change unless you're going to change the way you dress too. Are you going to start dressing like an old lady?
No, that's funny that you said that. No, that's funny you said that because Nicole goes, Mom, I don't know all of a sudden why you think just because you have gray hair, you're going to suddenly be like this, mom with, elastic polyester pants and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And she's like,
That's me.
if you're continually dressing the way you dress and do your makeup and you always have your hair done, you're never just like messy bun, So
you will look different. Who's the woman? There's an actress that went gray. Well, I guess several. But there was an actress who still looks beautiful, but she's gray now, and she was whatever. I wish I could remember who it was.
So many people did it during COVID, and I wish I would have had my mind set around doing that because that would have been a really good time to. Yeah,
because then it's just like, here, I'm a new person. Yeah. There was one time. This is very relatable. There was one time I decided to shave my face, everything. I shaved it, and then I decided to shave my legs and everything because I was whatever in a mood, and I was going away for a week, and I remember showing the kids. They freaked out. Trinity is saying, oh my God, but I think she's remembering oh my God from what Ashley said, because I don't know if Trinity could really remember. She was so young. But then no, I only did it one time for 1 week, and then I went away to California. Hated it. Like my face, it felt so naked because I've always at least had peach fuzz, even from like junior high, peach fuzz on my like the lip, and then I grew a beard in like when I was 19 or something like that. That's how Patty and I met, and then I went to goatee, and I've had a goatee ever since, and I shaved it all off, and then what was so funny is I thought, well, no one's seen me because I went to California and I did this conference and nobody knew me any other way, so who cares, right? One of our friends, Tanya, you guys met Tanya. She goes, were you somewhere, like, were you going to the airport the other day? Because I think I saw you, but like you had nothing on your face. It was so weird. I was like, oh my gosh, one person gets to see me, and
it is weird when you always have. Because I know Peter changes it all the time. Yeah. But when he shaves everything off, I just go, no, I like some hair somewhere. Something. Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Well, that was just a gift. So here's another thing that was really interesting, though, is there's something about the fact that I don't have any sun on the top of my lip, that my upper lip looks like the size of a small country. It's the weirdest thing in the world, because if you shave it, it just is like, holy cow, he's got a big upper lip, man. I don't know what it is, but it really does look odd. So even it's really, I shaved it for one time. I shaved it for our
oh, that's right.
Our October thing. What was that? We did a Halloween party. Oh, that's when Trinity saw it. It was our anniversary. Yeah. And so what we did was Patty and I came as Desi and Lucy. Yeah. And so I had to shave my stash, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's commitment.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Nice. That's what you were talking about then. Yeah, that was weird. Trinity's still in therapy.
When Peter first shaved his head, I think was it Nicole or Kylie? I think it was Nicole. Well, one of them wouldn't look at him for a couple days. Like they would walk by and go like this. Because his head was so white too. Yeah. And then obviously no hair. But it's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Like Ross's teeth and doohickey. Well, it's your subject matter. By the way, folks, this is the thing where we do a thing and then somebody else does it and then we talk about it.
Oh, see, there you go. All right.
This is the where we do wholehearted living, and one of us comes with a subject matter and then the other person just chats about it.
That's right. So my subject matter is something that we talked about a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
and
so we're canceling it here, folks?
No,
just
it's not
listen
the same
to 3
subject.
weeks ago. Oh, okay.
We talked about me getting questions from people.
Oh, yes.
So
you didn't get the questions.
But I didn't have the questions. But what I did was, because I didn't know, I was like, when I ask these people to write questions down, I'm like, gosh, what were they going to ask something about New Year's, or you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because it was so
Close to
around that time. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, let me call. I texted them because I don't have that paper. So I do know the questions I have.
Oh, you lost the paper completely?
I left it at school.
Oh, see, you know
Yeah.
what? When you said you didn't have it, I thought you meant you left it at home just to come to the
No.
podcast.
I
You,
left
like-
it at the house. I mean, I must have left it at school because
Okay.
it wasn't in my bag.
Okay.
So you ready for these?
Ready?
Okay.
We're going to just do one at a time. We don't have to get through all of them, right?
No, well, there's only 5. I only messaged 5 people.
Oh,
and
okay.
if we don't get through 5, if we only get through a few, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
But, okay, this one is a question that says, how do you get in the, it's funny because this was the first one I read and I was laughing so hard because we've talked about this many times, but
Oh.
we'll go ahead and answer it. How do you get yourself up and out to the gym so early? I want to work out before work, but cannot get myself out of bed.
Yeah. Well, how do I do it? I go later in the day.
So you're not doing early morning workouts anymore.
Rarely.
Okay.
So, but that's not true. So like today.
Oh, you just lied there?
I know I'm lying over and over again. Whenever I know I'm not going to have time during the day to do it, then I go early. So like this morning I went and swam.
Yeah.
Which that's another story. Maybe I'll bring that up another time. But
Okay.
so I usually go early to swim and because I can go to 24 hour. Because I
Yeah.
work out at home. I can't work out here
At 5
early
a.m.
because it'll make noise.
What
and
about
that's a
you,
drag.
Iggy? Do you go early before you
work.
start work? Okay. So how do you get yourself up out of bed and to do it?
I tell myself I work at 7, so I have to get this done.
Uh-huh.
So it's
so
good.
it's just a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting thing because what can we probe Iggy?
Yeah.
Question. That sounded really bad. Iggy really wanted to say that's what she said. Okay, so that's Iggy's joke that he frequently says. My question for you then is, because you didn't always do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started about
I used to work out after work.
yeah,
When I
but
first
you
started.
weren't even working out all the time. There was a season where you kind of lulled out of working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What brought you back to working out?
I wanted to feel better.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
You listen to our
Well, 'cause-
podcast ever?
'Cause also, I grew up playing a lot of basketball, so I'm used to being active. So then when the pandemic happened, all I did was like I was working a lot, so I was still moving in a way.
Yeah.
But after a while, like I just wasn't as active anymore, and I started missing it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as, I guess, as hard to be like, I want to be active, because it was like, I was, and I miss it, so I'm just gonna be active again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I get that.
But it
And
sounds
for-
like it was a decision. Then.
it's
Sorry
a
about
decision,
that.
and that's for me because I get that question a lot. You know, just in conversation with people, like I don't know how you do it. I can't do it, but you can if you make that decision.
That's
And
it.
a few of the tips, like for people that are like, I just cannot get myself out of bed at that hour, and then I know we've talked about this before, but then go to bed an hour early.
Yes.
You know, make sure you have your clothes set out for those of you that don't want to think about, oh, I don't know what to wear, so I'm just going to stay in bed. You know, have it set out. Do not hit the snooze button. That's
Oh, so this is very interesting. I read about the snooze button thing, and so many people, they say, I'm going to get up early, but I'm going to hit the snooze button twice. I'm only going to hit it twice. And what you're doing to yourself, studies have shown, is that you're breaking your cycle and you're actually ruining your sleep.
Yep.
You're far better off
just getting up.
just getting up immediately. And I think what Iggy just said, and so if you're really asking me, because I still get up at 4:30, so even though I might not work out, I'm getting up early. But number one is I do go to bed earlier than most people, so I'm not staying up till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Now I'm gonna go off on a tangent and say the reason I do that though is because I can when I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, all that means is another hour and a half of Netflix. It's not reading. It's not work. It's nothing more than it's more watching videos.
Yeah.
Because my mind is toast. And I always hear people say, oh, I get the most work done at night. And when I really talk with a lot of these kinds of people, it's not true. It's just that they stay up and they tend to do things, but they're not really getting anything productive done.
Sure.
I get up at 4:30. I do some honeydew type stuff like around the house because that like wakes me up. And And then I read, I prepare things, I get things done, I do all my emails, I do and it makes me so that all of a sudden my day, I already by 6 or 7 o'clock feel completely productive.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done a lot. And then if I do work out, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
I just feel so
Well,
good.
and that's the thing for me. I like getting it done. I like the way it starts my day. I like how I feel throughout the rest of my day. The days that I don't work out for whatever reason, I regret, not regret it, because I usually only take time off when I need to take the time
Right.
off, whether it's not feeling 100% or whatever it is, but I miss it. Like I love that feeling of moving my body and then having it done. If I told myself, oh, I'll just go after work today, I'm not going to do it because
But you did that for years though, too.
I did. And it was like clockwork doing that. But now that I'm in this rhythm, I love it so much more.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, so I think the thing about it is there's a couple of things about it. Number one is it is a decision.
It's a decision.
That's all there is to it.
It's a decision and just a way of disciplining yourself.
Yeah.
It has to be.
But I think the tricks that Valerie brought up are hugely important. Don't complicate it for yourself. So have everything ready. Have the socks out. Have the shoes out. Literally just make it so all you have to do is slide on. Make it everything as easy as possible the night before so that literally you just go into robot mode. You're not even really thinking. You're just acting.
Yeah.
You're just doing what you have to do.
And the other thing is there are certain times, I'm sure you guys have felt like this, where you're just like, I don't really feel it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I really want to go? It feels so much better just to snuggle on the couch with coffee and wait till I have to get ready for work. But my thing is like, you know what? I'm going to get myself ready and I'm going to go. And if I still am not feeling it when I'm at the gym, I'll turn around and come back home and just...
Yeah.
And I never have ever turned around and came back home. Ever.
I have never worked out and thought, oh, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You never feel like that. And that's the truth is that, you were saying earlier, and I caution anybody who ever, thinks, well, I'm not 100%. Because in the beginning days, you're going to feel like you're not 100% every single day.
That's very
and
true. Yeah.
So the truth is you just want to go for it. But eventually you're going to start to be able to read your body. And even in those days, and of course, I'm not going somewhere per se, but even in those days, it's funny. Today, I went swimming early and I told Patty, I said, my stomach is really upset. And it's so funny that you just said what you said, because I was like, well, I'm going to go. And if I get there and I don't feel good, then I'm going to turn around and come home.
Yeah.
And I ended up swimming.
Right.
So doing my workout, no problem.
I feel
Came
like,
home feeling better and my stomach was better. I was like, I was like gone. And so,
I think after years and years and years of working out, I know my body. I know when my body is, like, again, if you're just going to start working out, there's every day you're probably going to wake up going, I don't feel good. I don't
and every day you're going to wake up sore.
Yeah.
And you're going to think, oh God. And I can't do this because I'm sore. And I'm going to tell you from a practical standpoint, soreness goes away if you work out.
Yeah.
Way more than if you just sit on it.
Sit on it. Yeah. That's true. So, but yeah, and the snooze thing is huge, because I just get up. I have not hit a snooze button in years. I couldn't tell you the last time I ever hit a snooze, but I think that makes you more tired. And you reading that or talking about that study or whatever. I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't. You've gotten the sleep that you've gotten up to the point that you've been woken up. So just get up. Like another 7 minutes or 9 minutes. I don't know how much a snooze is, isn't going to be good quality sleep.
You don't end up, you don't get good quality sleep. You're thinking already about your day. You're thinking about the fact that, the alarm's going to go off again. And then all of a sudden it goes off again. And now you're frustrated. And what's really sad is if you would have planned on waking up at 5, but you set it for 4:30 and 4:40, 4:50, you'd be so much better off.
Yeah.
And then what so many people do say is, and I get this, you say, well, I literally turn it off and then I fall back to sleep. I don't even think about it. And so in that case, you need to have another practice. So the practice would be you immediately turn on the lights. You immediately turn on the TV or music or just something.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a partner, then you obviously can't do that necessarily, but you need to do something immediately, because if you don't, you're gonna forget. So
good.
That was fun.
Thank you. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
this one is I'm paraphrasing not paraphrasing, but they had messaged a lot, and now I'm just taking the gut of the question. I tend to go down a rabbit hole of gossiping. I want to change that about me, and that is actually my New Year's resolution. Any tips?
That's fascinating.
I love to gossip, so I have no tips. No, I'm just kidding.
So gossips often also say, everybody comes to me with their problems. Is that a fair statement? People say, oh, everybody comes to me with their problems. Mm-hmm. And I remember reading this one time. I can't remember who I read it from, but what he said is, I'm just going to tell you what I read. Okay. But this person came to him and said, everybody comes to me with their problems and I don't know what to do about it. Da, 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 da. And this person said, well, that's because, sorry, it's what I read. He goes, that's because you're a urinal.
Oh.
And he said, and the person looked like, what do you mean? Because, well, that's where everybody takes their crap.
Oh, interesting.
And so don't be one.
Yeah.
I mean, so in other words, like you maybe a better way to say is you're a dump. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. That's where people take their trash. And so the idea is being able to say, I'm not a trash dump.
Yeah.
I am not a trash dump.
Yeah.
This is not where you're going to dump.
Yeah.
Whereas you might think, oh, well, that's psychologically, not very kind and da-da-da-da. It's one thing for a good friend to be sharing their hurts. Mm-hmm. But when they're sharing about someone else's mm-hmm. issues, mm-hmm. that is turned to dump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm looking, and that's a very, very philosophical way of looking at it.
Sorry.
But you hear gossip a lot, and I think this person that messaged this is notices that I don't engage in a lot. If it becomes a big gossip fest about somebody, and there are a couple of people I could say a lot about, but if it becomes a big gossip fest, I just bury my head, eat my lunch, I don't partake. Because it doesn't make me feel good. At the end of the day, you walk out of that room and you're just drained. Like, I just feel like, and I don't like to hear it a lot either. So I feel like I walk away. So I don't know, like, I think any tips on not gossiping would be just disengage, walk away.
Well, and I think going back to what I originally said is, if you have a different view of yourself, it's easier to walk away. Mm-hmm. Because what's happening right now is you might be thinking walking away is rude mm-hmm. or it's not kind to that person who's sharing or what have you. But if you're saying, I am not a dump, mm-hmm. that's not who I want to be. Yeah, that's
true.
I want to be,
what do you do then? What do you say to the person then if you're trying to not be unkind and walk away? Like, I mean, well, I can put myself in a situation when I told a particular person that I feel very drained with how much she shares with me. And I will excuse myself if it gets, and she respected that. And there are many times that from that point that I said something to her that I'm just like, okay, we got to stop here. I got to go. And then because I set the stage already, I had already told her like
I think we're, now we might be going down a rabbit hole that's a little bit different than the question, but I think it's appropriate. And that is, if you're around people who are doing that all the time, you're around the wrong people. Mm-hmm. You really need to find a different network.
Or you can change the thing. Like there's been many times, like in my work situation, if somebody is talking about someone or whatever, and it's just like this, just people throwing stuff out like right. Constant, you just keep hearing it, and I'll just like look over and look at one of my friends, so what did you do this weekend, to one of the friends that and then she's like, oh, leave it to Valerie to change the subject, and I'm like, no, seriously, what did you do? And then it just everybody just like
goes into a different mode. Well, so you're being really practical, because I'm not thinking of a work situation where you really don't have a choice but to be around these people. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And if you're in that kind of a situation, then what you're doing is great, because you're basically
you're diffusing it.
You're diffusing it. You're engaging them in a different topic. You're making it so that the subject matter is more appropriate to whatever you want to talk about, and then the other thing is simply disengaging, mm-hmm. like you said, walking away mm-hmm. and getting away. But if this is somebody who you're feeling like you're constantly gossiping and you feel like maybe you get energy from it, this is where I'm saying, you need to, it's a total change. It's not just about gossip, because gossip is just a conversation. The thing is, how do you view yourself? How do you view that
Yeah.
person? And where are you getting your energy from?
So you feel like somebody that might want to gossip about somebody, or the person that wants to gossip, do you feel like they might have a bad self-esteem or something because they want
Almost-
to talk about somebody else's trash versus
Yeah. Well, I
Like-
don't know if it's, I mean, maybe it's self-esteem. It could be self-esteem, but they certainly, most of the time gossip comes from the perspective of, I want to make sure that I have a certain amount of, see, it depends, because there's two ways. One time, sometimes it's going to be, I want to have maybe if you're the gossiper, I want to have the superiority over the subject matter. But then the other person, what they're doing is they're saying, I'm being a sounding board to this person. And so from what you read, I felt like they were the sounding board, not necessarily the gossiper. Maybe
no, it sounds. I got it that she was.
if she's the gossiper,
I want to change that about me.
Okay.
I tend to go down the rabbit hole of gossiping.
Oh yeah. Well then really just ask yourself again. I go back to your own self-identity, because you're finding your identity in knocking somebody else down.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that whenever we're around people like that, it's always so funny because we think we have an advocate on our side. And the truth of the matter is that person will turn on you with another person because it is based on character.
Sure.
It's not just,
Yeah.
it's normally not just like,
Yeah.
I'm ripping on this person,
No.
you know? And so,
Yeah.
it's a very, what I often do is whenever I hear it, and it's irritating to my family, I think at times, is that I say, oh, I wonder what the other person's thinking. I wonder why they thought that. And then I try to get empathy for the person who's, oh, that's interesting. And I kind of do that, which is irritating to people because sometimes, especially, it's not helpful if I'm trying to be a supportive person to
Right.
somebody, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I wonder what they're thinking.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it switches from gossip to, oh crap,
Right.
he's not on my side.
Right.
Right. It's like, I thought that this
Yeah.
was going to, and which is not always good, but because sometimes I do need to just say, I'm not going to be a life coach, a therapist.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be a listener.
Yeah.
But
Well, for the person that gossips, any tips to not gossip? I just feel like it's a habit, and I feel like as soon as the words start coming out of you, or when you think of something, I don't know. I guess it's just telling yourself, reminding yourself on a daily basis. Put a thing on your watch. Like, just put a little
Yeah.
reminder every day. Don't gossip. I don't know, and then it'll just.
well, no. Don't say don't gossip.
Say
Speak positive.
speak positive. That's
Speak-
a good one.
be
Yeah,
positive.
You're right.
And so constantly say to yourself who you want to be, not who you don't want to be. So
Yeah,
say who you
that's
want to
true.
be. And so when you're talking about yourself, and if you're thinking about this very thing, again, change who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you change who you are, you will feel uncomfortable in that situation
for
to the
sure.
degree that you're going to have to respond.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, for whatever reason, you're getting energy from it.
Yeah.
If you could change it to where, no, I'm not this person, I am that person.
Mm-hmm.
And then that has to be defined, and that's a totally different thing. But once you know who that is, well, this behavior is not part of that person.
Yeah.
I'm pointing with my hands for anybody who's so
It's really interesting because I follow somebody on Instagram, a big, huge influencer. And for years, she had just this negative personality. Like, she was just very dogmatic about stuff. But she told herself one year, maybe 2 years ago-ish, that she goes, I didn't like that about myself. Like, I heard myself back on things. I saw things, and I'm just like, what? Is that really who I am? I don't want to be that person. And she changed into more of a positive thing. She started doing the positive affirmations every single day, and she's not that negative Nelly anymore. So
Yeah.
it really is just one of the things that you have to kind of like disciplining yourself to get up and go to the gym. It's just disciplining yourself to say, I'm not going to be that person anymore, and I want to be more positive. And so instead of spewing negative things about people, maybe think of something positive to say, and hopefully that will take over.
I'm going to be positive today.
Yeah.
Just have that kind of a thing.
Do we have time for one more?
I don't think so.
Okay. What time are we?
We're near the end of our time.
Okay, then we'll save these for another time.
Yeah, we'll save them for another time. But I hope that that's helpful because I feel like we kind of left that there's so much there because it just would be easy to say, well, you just have to push this button and all of a sudden you're not going to gossip. Or you just push this button and you're going to wake up early.
Be happy to go to the gym.
And
that's another thing that I want to say, like whether it's the gossip or the going to the gym, I don't wake up every single day going, woohoo!
Oh my gosh.
I get to go to the gym.
Yeah.
No, I mean, a lot of times I'm waking up like, oh, okay, let's go brush your teeth. Let's, and it's just like getting through the motions and then eventually it's there, but you don't wake up feeling motivated.
I'm so into routine. I've really, really found routine to be something that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And that routine doesn't matter what it is, but that every day you're not waking up and thinking, what do I have to do? You just do what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And because your mind
and that
is
makes
not there.
the routine, Iggy's shaking his head. Yes.
Yeah. So do you find yourself now in a total routine of what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I think like growing up playing sports, there's like every now and then there's a way I can get competitive with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then when I'm first starting out, like when I first switched to working out before work instead of after work,
mm-hmm.
at first I was like, all right, 21 days to make a habit.
Yeah.
So then in my head, I'm like, all right, day 1, day 2. And then before the 21st day, I'm like, I'm so determined to make it 21 days.
Yeah.
Like before the 21 days, I'm like, oh, this is easy.
Sure.
I got it.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. Like, don't tell yourself, okay, I'm going to work out every single day this year. Like, give yourself little baby steps. Okay,
Yeah.
I can do this for 30 days. Then you're at the 30-day mark. You're feeling good. I'm going to do it another 30 days.
That's right.
know?
I think too, there's also, at least for me, there was I think Benny says it, like when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just for me, it got to where like Trinity opens, so she goes to bed super early because she has to work at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I get off work at 3:30 and then I go work out. She's usually taking a nap.
Right.
By the time I'm done working out and I come back to the apartment, she's up to eat dinner maybe and then start getting ready for bed. So I'm like, I want more time to hang out with her.
Sure.
So then I start working out early in the morning. So then after work, we have that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. But so another thing, so you've made a decision, you have like motivation for various reasons. And then you have, and then the thing is the routine stuff. Mm-hmm. By the way, when I say routine, you might need to change your routine up because something's not working. So it's okay that it's not like a perfect routine.
Yeah.
But it just means that in the morning, you're not deciding things.
Yeah.
And I'm referring to like what water you're taking.
Oh,
what,
and this is why I do this stuff the night
done.
before.
Yes,
yeah, I get my
exactly.
water bottle ready. I get, everything is done the night before. So it is just like clockwork. There's not a lot of thinking involved.
No, and you really, I don't wake up every morning. It's so funny that you said that because I very often I wake up in the morning thinking, really, am I going to do this? Mm-hmm. And then I just get up and I do it. And then within 5 or 10 minutes, I'm like in my routine.
Totally.
I'm not even thinking about being up anymore.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, we'll carry on next week.
Carry on. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us. We are at Wholehearted_living_podcast on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. And you can also see us on YouTube.
And if you are on YouTube, well, even if you're on Spotify, you may not know what I look like on Spotify, but you can go to Daily Dose of Cocoa and see what I look like.
The podcast has a picture up.
Oh, that's true. You saw my picture. I want to know what you think about my going gray.
Yeah. I'm going to go gray
Chime
too.
in.
Oh, wait. I don't hear.
All right.
Well, that's it, folks. So thank you, Iggy, for keeping us in sound.
As always, we will see you later. Bye.
Ciao.